Hey, what's going on, guys? That was, once again, Outlaw's Lullaby, from the Yakuzas. And I'm gonna play Not for Broadcast Episode 2 today. I don't know how far I'm gonna get into it or if I'll finish it or what. But it should be a good time. If you aren't up to date on it, let me formulate the brief synopsis in my head real quick. So the first episode, we kind of set up this situation where the guy left, and we took over in the broadcaster chair, and we get to choose. We get to choose what gets on air, including bleeping things out, choosing shots. We can choose to make people look good and bad. This new company is trying to like take over stuff, and after the first episode ends, we get to this situation where I believe my wife's brother went on the run, and I think we gave them our passport and shit, and the country's like locking down and all this stuff. And in between episodes 1 and 2, there was like a fever dream. I forget exactly what they called it. Let me see if we could figure out the let's see. Cloud Saves Lockdown Update is what it was called. Where a company released a little like teddy bear kind of thing that started taking over. And everyone had to go into lockdown and stay home and not go out on the streets, which was their way of dealing with not being able to film because they couldn't get together to film, so they filmed from their houses. And that moved into the telethon update, which I played a little while ago, where they were having a telethon. It was a short little episode, and now we're on episode 2. I would say if you are interested in this game, pick it up. I believe they gave it to me for free. I don't remember. I might have bought it. No. They gave it to me for free, I believe, to check it out. But I can say wholeheartedly, I think you should check it out. It's a one-time purchase, and they're rolling out all the different episodes after that. And I believe they are increasing the price soon. So if you're interested in playing, now might be a good time to check it out. I don't know. But anyway, let me launch the game. It said there was no updates, and of course, as soon as I clicked play, there's an update. But there we go. How's it going on, Snoodle? Ace. Hopefully you guys are doing all right. So you can see we have the 4 different screens that we can take. 1, 2, 3, 4. The feeds there. We can censor audio. We have to run ads. The choice of what ads we run impacts things and all this stuff. It's this whole like, branching narrative storytelling thing.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
All right. Welcome to Not for Broadcast Episode 2. This update includes 3 new broadcasts, each with alternate scenes to find, as well as 24 adverts. Completely overhauled incidents, a all-new interface mechanic. What's going on, Dr. Nick? You got a notification that some of your data was sold on the dark web. Ah, classic. If you want to continue from an existing save, you can hit continue or load game to get right into episode 2. However, as the game has been rebalanced, attributes like your wealth, alignment, and narrative consequences won't be as accurate as a fresh game. Ah, interesting. I'm going to hit continue just because, I don't think I want to redo the first chunk, but, I may redo that offline, maybe. Yeah, that's not good, Ace. I know some of my old passwords got out eventually at some point. I've been changing things, Also, in the past, I've endorsed LastPass. Unfortunately, it seems like they've changed it so you can only get 1 mobile device authenticated with LastPass. If you're a free account, which may not impact everyone, but Day 154, A Rude Awakening. The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you're greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family is by your side. I reassuringly... Oh, I gotta limit the frame rate. Holy shit.
Good evening.
Sorry, I always forget streaming does this. I know blank is your password, but nobody paid me to check on you. Wow. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. Add a program. Nope. Yeah, there's some not great shit people do. Max frame rate on at 70. I don't know if it will go over 70 just because of... Well, that scene was rendered. Maybe that's why. All right. Let's hop back into the game. Sorry. Let's go on, E6. What kind of sucks for me is, you know, work and all the cybersecurity stuff. It makes me really have to be like hyper aware of that stuff.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. On main
Turning the world into Russia in EU4. Oh, wow. Well, Mazel Tov? No. I don't know what the Russian congratulations is. Day 154. A Rude Awakening. The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you're greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family, by your side, a reassuringly familiar sight in these new surroundings. You blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone into focus. You feel a hand on yours, gentle but reassuring. Sam, who I believe is our wife, there with you as always. Their expression, understandably concerned, is somehow more affectionate than ever. We knew you'd be okay, never doubted it for a second. And even if I ever see that Bozeman, you squeeze their hand back and attempt a wink. The worry lines on Sam's forehead fade a bit. Lord knows you've both got enough to be anxious about without your health being thrown into the mix. With a final smile to them, you turn to the rest of your family. Just as you feel Susie's absence, you notice Charlie fidgeting, clearly trying not to look worried. I think Susie's our daughter? As soon as you turn to look at him, you see Charlie tense up, his concern clear on his face. So you're definitely good, right? He finally asks, quickly looking away. I'll be fine, Charlie. Leave the blanket alone. Charlie's face drops, and he plants his hands firmly in his pockets. Avoiding Sam's gaze, you notice your mother staring listlessly out the window. Despite all your best efforts, she's not been doing well lately. Are you okay, Mum? Your mother stares, your call clearly shocking her out of her reverie. She turns to you and smiles, and you're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling? You smile warmly and nod, but before you can respond, a doctor bustles in and ushers everyone out. She asks you, for what feels like the 100th time, how you're feeling. Surprisingly well, all things considered. Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage, just a bit of shock to the old system. Pardon the pun. She smiles. Yeah, we got shocked. What's going on, Scum? At the end of the Dream, the lockdown episode. The bears were fucking with our electricals and we got shocked. Well, we didn't get shocked. We had to keep doing the broadcast, but hitting the broadcast button shocked us. Not that we'd recommend you do anything like that again, of course. After a couple days of rest at home, you should feel right as rain. She turns to leave, but stops at the door. Oh, and the private room in care. The doctor gestures to your room, which you now notice looks rather expensive. Has all been paid for by Mr. Bozeman. He left those flowers, and he said not to worry and take the rest of the week off. He'll see you Monday, apparently. Seems like the least he could do. You have no idea what's going on, so at the end of episode 1, in real life, the lockdown started. So they had a lockdown episode, like a mini episode in between 1 and 2. And at the end of that one, we were kind of forced into continuing the broadcast, but the machine was malfunctioning and shocked us every time we used it. And at a certain point, we like passed out or blacked out. And so now we woke up in the hospital. Mr. Bozeman is our boss who like forced us to do the work. Seems like the least he could do. A burden to bear? You come home from a particularly long late shift to find the kitchen light still on, which isn't normally a good sign. Everyone's usually in bed by now. Softly opening the kitchen door, you find Sam at the table. Bills and papers are strewn in front of them, as well as what looks like to be a second pack of biscuits. They give you a quick kiss as you take the seat next to them. Pastries and beer and ice cream. It feels very Canadian to walk around eating ice cream outside in the winter, yeah. Sam frowns and goes back to the bill they're holding. Hey, sweetheart, just looking at the numbers again. They look to the door, to the pantry, now converted into your mother's bedroom. We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now. Suddenly, bills are all you can see. I've been working things out, and I think we might just be able to afford it. Sam smiles at you, but you can see this has been weighing on them. Things are clearly difficult, and this isn't making it any easier, but she's your mother. We have to really, don't we? Yes, we'll make it work somehow. The sword of Damocles sheathed, at least for the moment. You grab the papers and stuff them into a drawer. It's such a relief to not have to worry about it anymore. Or so you told Sam. Hours later, you're still awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking, how long will the money last? Do I look cleaner today? Why, are you calling me dirty? Not sure what you mean by cleaner. The haircut? I haven't gotten a haircut since Christmas. I just combed it a little bit better. Kind of looks like I just took a shower. I look shiny. Oh god. No, I got new lights, which are reflective on my skin apparently. Just clean my forehead. I shine my forehead up so it's nice and buff and reflects the light right back at you guys. How's that? Is that working out? I can't tell. Yes, I got new shower lights. Yes. It's for my my OnlyFans streams. It's less shiny now, yes, because all the oil on my forehead got absorbed. How long will the money last? I'm just radiant, yeah. Current wealth, not worrying every day. Not quite breaking even. Oh no. You just realized I'm using K553s. What's a K553? Do I know what that is? Oh, the headphones. No, these are Sony MDR 7506s. I don't know. It's like impossible to show you what they look like. I don't like these, I'll be honest. I really don't like these. I'm like Vinny's Electronics. Yes, I'm slowly leaking oil. That's how my life has been for the last, how old am I? 30 years. Sam's out with work tonight, and Charlie's staying at a friend's. The house is yours. You order a takeaway, a couple of drinks, and decide to relax in front of the TV. Not a great selection tonight, but surely something to watch. You feel like a laugh. Sam's not here, but you still watch horror without them. You want to switch off action thriller. Sam isn't a fan of historical drama, so you make the most of comedy. They're classics, typical in editing rooms. Yeah, I find them to be very, very brittle. All right, let's go. In fact, I'm sure this is gonna make somebody cringe, but where is my EQ on this? I have like a monster EQ on these. Oh god, I can't move the tab. Well shit. Now we broke something. I can't show you the EQ, it's down below. There you go, you see the EQ right there. I'm really pulling 10K out, like really hard, because if I have it on, all I hear is like on everything. I really pull it out hard. I'm not a huge fan of these headphones, like I said. But that's just me. They feel really brittle, but they're actually really sturdy. No, I mean the audio sounds brittle, not the framework. That's part of the RME Fireface, which is my audio interface, the Fireface UCX. Expensive, but I really like mine. We'll talk about audio for a second here. If I bring this back up, can I do this? Yeah. What's nice is every channel, every input has built-in EQ and dynamics. Meant for editing, yeah. I don't like the way I sound in them, and I don't like the way like the game sounds in them. So that's why I have such a nasty EQ. But yeah, all these channels have their own effects on them, and that's in hardware. That's not on my computer. So that lets me do all this without having a impact on my CPU cycles or anything like that, which is really nice. I mean, I can like this is what I sound like with everything off. You can hear a lot of my voice and my breathing and shit, and it's in fact I can do there we go. Now you can hear more, and it's just like ugh. My EQ is turned into normal headphones. Yeah, basically. If I turn this off, it doesn't change for you, but it's gross. It's terrible. You want to hear this isn't exactly 1-to-1, but if I crank this up to 10K and I do this is kind of more what I hear, this little like nasally like kind of like that, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I can't stand it. It makes me not like things. This is my current one. I don't know. It just makes me not want to listen to anything. I don't like it, put it that way. Anyway, back to the game. The humor's a bit hit and miss, but the joke about the kiln has you bent double in laughter. Wiping a tear from your eye, you spot something reflecting in the light of the TV under the coffee table. Curious, you reach down and bring it out into the light. As you pick it up, you remember the note that Sam left you. Hey, sweetheart, Charlie lost Susie's present. Would you mind looking for it tonight? X. As you hold it closer, you're surprised to find the gift's actually an engraved lighter for Chippy. She claims the nickname's affectionate, but Charlie still scowls every time she says it. You're not sure Sam would approve. Movies? Yeah, I can see him being alright for movies. The accompanying note from Susie explains, Irkistan has a long tradition of glorifying the art of starting fires. Thought you'd like it. Don't do anything stupid, Suze. Hopefully it's just a souvenir and not a new pastime he's picked up. Or about to pick up. It's nice she thought of him, though. I'm not going to go too crazy today. Oh, thank you. I forgot to unmute the game. There you go. You just listen to me talking with no game for 2 minutes. I had meant to build. There was instructions I saw for building a actual like mute indicator that you could like have flash, and I just haven't gotten around to picking up what I need and trying it. Just have a little LED right above that blinks, you know, for each source that's muted. My desktop audio, my mic, music, Discord, alerts, and all that shit. Probably not alerts, probably not Discord, and probably not music, but the game audio and my voice would be a good one. The silence. Up next, National Nightly News.
Sabotage.
Jenny, problem? I want her fired today, now.
Don't worry, Kath, it'll be all right.
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound like me?
I mean it, Kath.
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to
Oh,
Oh, good.
that's not good.
You can tell him I'll return his wife's
My
capsule.
VCR is broken.
Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath, you're going to have to leave.
All right, so the way this is gonna work is this is gonna be what we're previewing, and this is live,
She nearly
and so you can hear the live
I
audio
thought we were part of a team
below the
these
main
days.
audio.
better, Jeremy, you know that. Just
I gotta remember
stop
the
being
buttons
so
too.
anxiety and do your job.
You'll have me fired.
1 ABC.
Tempt me. Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
So how do you feel about the sanctions?
I actually think that with advance in charge we'll be fine. Of course the rest of the world will want us to fail, or it'll be their billionaires next. But I trust Julia and Peter.
You guys can hear it, right?
Julia and Peter.
Thanks, Patrick.
Should be good.
Important stuff. Thanks, Patrick.
Controversial Prime Minister Julia Salisbury attempted to assuage growing public concerns with the following official statement released earlier today.
The international sanctions declared against this country today by the World Council remind us that now, more than ever, we need to come together as a team. Since coming to power, we have eradicated poverty and, as a consequence, seen crime fall to levels previously thought impossible. Our schools, hospitals and youth clubs are thriving, and our transition centres have enabled many thousands to unburden their loved ones with dignity. In any failing world, we would be held up as a model to emulate.
God.
Evidently, this is not that world. The privileged few have lobbied, and now they are striking back. But we will not cower before their tantrums. And we encourage other progressive nations of the world to continue to trade, visit, and share their cultures with ours. Do not
Oh,
be
no.
afraid. We have more friends than we can count.
Oh no, I keep grabbing the wrong one.
Now more than ever. And this team
That
is
sucks.
on your side. Thank you.
These are my ratings.
Reassuring stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our refreshingly different government? Robin Short found out.
It's like a 5 to 7 man job. Oh yeah.
Robin Short, National Nightly News. I was wondering if I could get your thoughts on the current government.
I'm not really very interested in politics, really. As Mother always said, leave politics to the politicians, Malcolm.
Yep. No, I don't doubt it.
Putting the grown-ups to shame. An award today for Camp Busy Fingers, which continues to break all production expectations.
A slightly dazed-looking Sophia Remington presented young foreman Alfie Plank and his team with a certificate, statuette, and a moderately generous tuck shop voucher.
So, how do the public feel about the Youth Employment Opportunity Scheme? Patrick Bannon again.
What's your opinion of Camp Busy Fingers?
What do you think my opinion is? Should be banned. It's bloody child labour. Is that what you like, is it? Children being exploited?
No, I don't. Don't.
Pipers at the gates of dawn. Commuters in the capital this
So we're
morning found
choosing
themselves surprised
good, neutral, or
and
bad
amused
outcomes
by the latest stunt
for
from
each of
popular
these
pressure group Disrupt.
in and out points, kind of.
Silent protests were held outside underground stations throughout the capital, bringing a pleasantly surreal quality to the morning commute.
Unless, like me, you have a phobia of mimes.
But how do we, as a country, really feel about Disrupt? Robin?
Do you have any feelings about Disrupt?
It's all a bit noisy for me, really. As Mother always said, leave the rebelling to the rebels, Malcolm.
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Svorsborg-Hawkensford today sent a blueprint of the escape craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's
What a
tent.
name.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from optimistically engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his shed, it sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
So I'd imagine that you think this is a great plan.
Oh my God! How did you know? It's a brilliant idea. I hope everyone gets behind them so that they know that we're with them. In spirit, of course. I can't actually go diving because I'm scared of salt.
Scared of salt?
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team Membership Cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, vitally, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
Absolutely bloody not. That's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it, Iris? First it's, can I see your identification, sir? And then it's, would you mind bending over the table, sir? So Sergeant State Educated and Constable Regional Accent here can stick their truncheon up your derry hair.
Crikey!
They should call them what they are. They're bloody ID cards. Oh, for Christ's
Can they
sake,
say
what
bloody?
Is it, Iris?
Isn't that like the F word here?
I'm so sorry. Crikey.
And finally tonight, hospital pass.
It is legal?
Wow.
Wow.
Reaches today of brave Johnny Hansleaves and his doting partner Tiffany Lamore in their ongoing struggle against his horrific mystery illness.
Tiffany was forced to cancel her latest show, These Hotel Sheets and What I Did on Them, in order to devote more time to selflessly looking after the much-loved multimillionaire.
I'm sure the art world will recover.
With some critics questioning her motives,
What
what should your opinion be of the controversial artist for at least appearing to stand by her man?
Disgusting.
I think I chose the wrong one there.
Your thoughts there?
Later tonight, in a break from our usual responsibilities,
Jerk.
Jeremy will be taking popular rapper Jesus to task over his street credibility. And then we'll both be meeting the team behind the new play that's got theatre critics buzzing with anticipation.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
I don't like this.
First tonight, let's return to our main story.
With the shine coming off Advance's popularity
And the honeymoon period pretty much over.
the National Nightly News has spared no expense in bringing you the response to today's sanctions from across the continent.
Joining us to help digest this shocking development,
I was about to go
Prime
live
Minister
when
Peter
I
Clement from his home in Lancashire.
Good evening,
decided to go join Vin.
Turkestan Foreign Minister Ivan Vodovich.
It's a great pleasure. Miss Wolf, you like...
And from Svenland, Minister of Mojo, Björn.
Hey, everybody.
Minister Vodovich, your country pushed especially hard for these sanctions. Any regrets?
My only regret is I was not able to see the face of my old friend Peter Clements when the results of the vote were announced. As you say, he has one up in your bottoms.
In Finland, we try not to gloat, actually, because it's seen as really ugly and dangerous to some small creatures, yeah?
Oh, don't worry, Minister. Ivan and I go way back. He's a wind-up merchant who can't put for shite. He's just trying to get a rise out of me.
You're like a man who loads dissidents onto train to labor camp, not because of love of country, but to make up for size.
Sorry, I'm trying to read chat, but
Been on the vodka, Ivan.
No more than you. I see you on election night with mouth like man thinks he's singing beautiful
nice
lullaby.
vodka JPEG.
But actually he's squealing like a pig in hands of Randy Big Dick Farmer. Hey?
Actually, we Svenlandians, we aren't size obsessed. We value passion, yeah? Like the way we spoke up for Mr. Clement's country at the
Yeah, I don't think that's a
That's all well and good.
bad word. I don't know.
High and mighty, but where
I
were
guess
you
not.
for the actual vote then? Our fingering
I mean,
each other's
I guess it is.
fjords.
Actually, that's kind of racist. And if you must know, I've had like a really tiring afternoon and my tongue is really sore.
Prime Minister, with Advance's popularity on the wane...
You don't have to bring that up at every given opportunity, you know.
Peter, he's like man who thinks he's sniffing flowers in beautiful glade. But he's actually standing under outflow pipe from shit factory at shit flushing time on day of village festival of shit. I tell him this at 19th hole.
Minister Vodovich believes that left to their own devices, people will behave selfishly.
It's nature of all beasts.
However, in this country, we think our citizens are capable of being more than beasts.
Pathetic idealism.
Minister Björk, Svenland has long had radically different traditions and culture from the rest of the world, and yet it peacefully coexists. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know, I think maybe the world sees us as something they can actually spiritually be enlightened to, yeah?
Yeah, or maybe it's the orgy houses.
Sometimes, when foreign dignitaries come to visit us, they're actually quite skeptical, actually. So we take them on a visit to the Donga district and show them what like a progressive, enlightened society looks like, yeah?
Shit of bull. Svenland is like woman who thinks she make best cake in village hot baking contest. And then when she slices it open, it's just full of piss and cum.
That's just really gross, actually.
Svenland is a teeny tiny country with population smaller than number of people.
I can barely even understand what they're saying.
Teeny tiny penis.
It's not all about
Penis.
size, actually.
Yes, that's what Peter Clements always claimed.
I'm talking about population size.
And I'm talking about Peter Clements' teeny tiny...
Oh, fuck off, Ivan!
Oh, Prime Minister, please.
It's so easy to sit on your pile of money and gloat, isn't it, pal? You're a shite leader. A fucking god-awful golfer. And quite frankly, as my old man used to say, you're a bit of a cunt.
Prime Minister, please.
It's you who is cunt.
Minister Vodovich, please.
Your people are fucking starving, pal.
We will see how well fed your people are when the sanctions start to bite. You think you're man like big, scary wolf person terrorizing village, when actually a pathetic
He would have been cut off a while ago, yeah.
searching puddle for tiny dropped-off penis.
Why are you so obsessed about small cocks, mate?
In Svenland, we believe like the size of your penis isn't as important.
You
as
could say
the
penis, but not
contains, yeah.
Oh, fuck
cock.
off, yeah.
Okay, if everybody could just calm down.
You're so smug on golf course. They are like man who fuck pig and somehow give her birth to beautiful lady girl. But now you start to see, yes? The people never happy. It's never enough.
It's certainly true that Advance's popularity
It's
is...
on the fucking wane. Yeah, let's go with this bollocks again. Shall we? Actually, you know what? Nah, fuck this. I'm done with this.
Prime Minister, please don't storm out.
No. I have had enough of you, Mr. Jeremy Donaldson, and your snide aside. You think you could make a better job of things, do ya? Because it's not that fucking easy, let me tell ya. Your channel is a fucking disgrace. You insinuate and edit against us and pick your headlines so people don't trust us. The sooner you roaring monsters are taken into public ownership, the happier everyone in this country will be.
Well, we've not got long until the adverts, so...
I'm sorry for the outburst, Miss Wolf. Julia thinks very highly of you, and I know you're not the one making the editorial decisions.
Do any of you have anything you wish to add about the sanctions?
My work here is done. I like man who happy he lie down with fatty, drunk, easy girl from village inn, who discover in morning he wake up next to beautiful news reporter lady.
You know, I think it would be a terrible shame, yeah, if the people of your country were to suffer because of teenage grudges and personal rivalries, yeah.
Thank you. Prime Minister?
This country, this wonderful, civilized, creative...
Just remember, Evil, that this is on a delay. Is a second.
There's no wolves at our door, only the wolves at our door striving to help out. So no, Ivan, we're not afraid. In fact,
so the timing is a little bit different.
Wink of sleep, because we're strong, and we're well resourced, and we don't back down to bullies.
And on that note, we have to wrap up.
Ministers, Prime Minister, thank you for joining us.
We'll be back after these messages. We'll be back.
1 minute back.
Peter, you're so easy. So many buttons to push.
Piss off, Ivan.
Well, I see you at Grange this weekend.
No, I've got meetings.
Ooh.
Some tossers impose sanctions on the country.
Well, shit.
I mean, wow.
Sports World board game.
Roaring monsters.
Public ownership.
You two are like customers into a king and queen of which actually you are just puppets on a string of evil shitty-hand puppet legs.
Same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Oh my god, I have to censor blue waveforms?
Bow before royalty.
What?
The shame hat.
Are they giving you the pound principle?
What?
Megan?
This is Jeremy. The Sport Boy game is the only game your family is going to want to play.
No, thank you.
It's quite alright.
You're not asking for
5 and 10 seconds.
He put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to...
Jesus.
Well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand you.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Jesus.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died, died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Well, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so...
I didn't even see the blue areas. Oh, shit.
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah. Nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah. I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing. And I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh, no. I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why
God.
This require a massive fucking mansion. So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams.
You're supposed to like do this to the beat.
So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to stone a country with a motherfucking pitchfork.
Oh my God, I always fail. I always fail at this.
And the shoved ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding out their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration, who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise serve the crest of the ways, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stall a puzzle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're spoiling bed getters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stall the puzzle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Case that's mean, you don't need a fucking team, and advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt, then you're angry or wrong. lend your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Oh my God.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your notes.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous
God,
language there.
that's always so difficult to do.
Well, thank you to little Jeremy.
You got to balance the timing of the music and...
Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ads.
Jenny, this is fucking outrageous.
Thank you so much. If you could just come with me.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I complain to?
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust me.
leave this.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand.
Don't censor it. Oh, God.
Unbelievable, Megan.
It's my job,
I know
though.
what you're talking about, Jeremy.
I don't get fired.
Penetrate. Just a reminder. Fixing that old VCR. And a new tape.
Yeah, I already did.
And nourishes from root to tip for 8 times the strength of other brands. 6 out of 10 shampooists recommend it.
Oh, here we go. Look at him.
Intensive formula at spa
Say
repairing
no
damage
more.
and strengthening
Say no
strands
more.
and is truly unbreakable.
You remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
And Mr. Harris, and this is Ms. Raiden.
Rapid repair.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Are shampooists real?
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Right.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Raiden, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says...
The woman in the center almost looks like my ex. Jeez.
He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris. Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around 2 things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You were an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always
Oh, no.
dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
I think I take too much.
The viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable.
His underwear.
Our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board.
Best to work without trousers, right.
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which, frankly, would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Goodness, and you do this every night?
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey.
All right.
We must
Third ad break. We're almost done.
Each other like this, eh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the end of it. Okay. Oh, I got an E on the second sequence. Oh, it's that music piece, dude. Killed me. I definitely am bouncing around too much. I know I am. This was me trying to figure out when the interference came in. All offensive words were censored. More interference than news. Yeah, that was this. An excellent, exceedingly poor edit. That means I jumped around too much. You can see this was the music act right there too. Advanced concern about insurance language. Because I didn't get all of the advanced censoring out. I only got the regular censoring. You've received a slight dock to pay. Oh no. Well, the problem is, at the beginning of the game, the guy quit, and so I was the only one who could step in, so they can't fire me. There's nobody else to do the job. Yeah, I don't know what any of this. This is all new. Advanced increase in the world. I don't know what that is. Anarchy? Not anarchy. And then CH Channel 1. That's all new. My Salad Weekly.
Celebrate the classic age of salad with this exquisite limited edition collection. My Salad Weekly. Sign up now, and every week we'll send you an authentic, ethically sourced ingredient to add to your salad. Build your collection week by week, and very soon you'll have a salad that really gets the lunchroom talking. From tomatoes and oils to leafy greens and lovely grains, this really is the complete collection. Every issue also comes with a companion magazine that explores the history of the art form, from the Great Balsamic Wars of 48, or Edward the Confessor's discovery of the cucumber, to the man that changed the very way we see the humble salad, Julius Caesar himself. Start your personal salad collection now, and we'll send you your first 3 issues. Loose Leaf, Remain, and Iceberg. Plus this exclusive lettuce fridge magnet, all for just $7.97, with free postage and packing. Order now, and you'll receive this crouton display case free. That's right, absolutely free.
Display my croutons.
With a retail value of $18.99, your crunchy cubes will look their absolute carby best. But don't delay, this exclusive offer is available for a limited time.
All right, that was one of 3 broadcasts that we have unlocked for episode 2. Like I said, I may sit down and replay all of this on my own, just because it seems like they change stuff between 1 and 2. The ads aren't stupid enough? Oh, no, there are some much more stupid ads. Trust me, some of the ads are pretty stupid. Not all of them. Some of them are just mediocre stupid. Ladder worth climbing. It's lazy Sunday afternoon in summer, with you and Sam making the most of both kids being out of the house. You banged your head coming out of the cupboard with the last 2 slices of homemade cake. It used to be much easier when you could store things in the pantry. Sorry, the game's like louder now. It's rare for you and Sam to actually get to finish sweet things in the house, and you savor every moment. Just as you take the last bite, you hear the sound of the front door slamming. That'll be Charlie coming back from the go-getters. You hear him practically running to come find you, and he's grinning from ear to ear when he finally does. I have some really big news. You and Sam play along, sitting attentively with bated breath. I am doing a lot of jobs, yeah. And I'm streaming on top of it. Ready, Charlie asks, as you both nod enthusiastically. With a flourish, he reveals a new badge from his pocket and proudly presents it to you both to examine. He announces, as of today, I'm a member of the first tier of Cohesion Cadets. There's way more stuff I'm going to be doing, and I'll be working some weekends, but it'll be really cool. Sam congratulates Charlie. As you can't help but frown. This seems a big step for teenagers. You and Sam grin at your son. You're thrilled. He's happy and doing well. Yeah, so I think Charlie wanted to join some resistance, and the daughter went somewhere else. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I played the first episode. Day 278. A sign of things to come. Shopping. Something that always seemed so tedious before the sanctions has become even more of a chore now. You managed to get almost everything you need for the family this evening, but you'll have to come back tomorrow and get through the week. There's a queue to leave the car park, though it's hard to make out why in the dark. Hopefully whatever's causing it won't be too long. As the final car in front of you drives off, you realize the queue was actually due to a checkpoint set up at the exit. A friendly-looking man in an advanced uniform, CCO, emblazoned in a number of places on it, approaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window. You roll it down. Good evening, nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Weren't those cards supposed to be voluntary? Sorry, I don't have one. Ah, it's not a problem. We've got forms with us right here, and we're more than happy to sign you up. The man gestures to his colleague behind him, a young woman in a similar uniform. She clearly received the short end of the stick and is stuck with paperwork. Thought those cards weren't required. You got a license to go to the store? Well, strictly speaking, they're not, but there's also a load of benefits to having them, and no reason not to get one. His smile fades a bit, and when he puts his hand up to scratch the back of his neck for a moment, he leans over to you, his presence now seeming a little intimidating. No thanks, it's not something I want right now. Almost instantly, the friendly demeanor is gone, and his expression is one of stern disapproval. Well, obviously I can't make you sign up, but I would strongly recommend you do, and soon. We wouldn't want people to think you've had anything to hide, would we? He takes a step back and gestures for you to drive on. You sure you see him writing something down in your rearview mirror as you head home, somewhat more hurried than usual. Clearly, Advance are very keen on everyone joining the team. They're making us. God, my nose is so itchy. An invitation worth ignoring. It's Saturday. One of your few days off, and you've made the most of it. But this late afternoon draws on. As the late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits pinned to the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event, Bozeman was quite quick to tell you. Also, don't you dare be late. Try wise not to risk Bozeman's wrath, I better go. Best start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with the enforced office socializing. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job. Right? What am I hiding? A national news night. You arrive on time, barely, at the Swavanian, one of the oldest and grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see a queue to get in, and quickly realize it's because people are being searched at the door by some very military-looking personnel in smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice just how very opulent the building is, possibly the fanciest place you've been to in all your life. You submit to being patted down, and with a sigh of relief are let into the hotel. I'm as innocent as a newborn babe. Yeah, can't you see? I look very clean today. Once inside, you're directed to the grand ballroom, and following the signs, you marvel at the sheer scale of the place, and the amount of armed security guards. When you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the door asks your name. I'm Alex Winston. She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter beside her. You've made it just in time to be seated before dinner. Please follow Emmanuel here to your table. The waiter smiles at you and opens one of the great double doors, gesturing you to enter. Immediately, you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom. You pause for a second and take it all in. You feel a slight tap on your arm, and Emmanuel gestures for you to follow him. He seats you at a table away from the central floor area, half under a set of stairs. Your view of the stage is, at best, partially blocked. Bozeman's definitely not happy with you at the moment. You're sat with some colleagues you've heard around the Channel 1 offices before, but haven't met. For the most part, they're considered slackers at best and about to be fired at worst. What category do you fit in? As the evening goes on, you hear Jeremy Donaldson receive an award for outstanding contributions to journalism. You also hear Megan Wolf accepting it on his behalf, as he hasn't turned up to the event. Not unusual, apparently. But it's hard for you to tell much from your limited view under the stairs. You also notice a community cohesion officer hovering near your table. They seem to be as bored as you are. A few glasses of, no doubt, very expensive wine later, and you see Bozeman speaking to a few specific tables, joined by what looks like Prime Minister Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. This is confirmed by a unimpressed nod from the CCO when you ask them, perhaps a little too loudly. Their presence sparks a debate between those at your table about the virtues of both Advanced and Disrupt. You expose how advanced is making the country a better place. You argue in favor of disrupt and their ideas of freedom. You stay out of politics. You've had too much to drink. You end up talking about staying later than you thought you would. And staying later than you thought you would, despite yourself. Sam isn't pleased when you keep them waiting outside for 20 minutes. But it wasn't an entirely terrible evening in the end. You'd still rather have been home, though. Maybe you'll skip the next one. Man. Go on, Bugsy. Sleepy. I hear you. The heat wave. Oh, that's not good. Come to Blummins. Oh, right.
Who's down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is.
We got a new VCR.
Handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name
It's
is.
a fun
He's
eye.
here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
Might keep us in line. I hate guns. Give me the willies.
10 seconds, everybody.
So, we've got any actual real news tonight?
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5, 4, 3.
Let's go over to Jeremy Donaldson for the national.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week. In a statement from team headquarters a short
I don't
time
know what
ago,
the difference is between
Prime
these.
Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this unprovoked escalation.
The regrettable decision taken by the World Council this morning have left the citizens of this country isolated and fearful. But Advance have prepared for this day. Our stockpiles are large, our wealth is unfathomable, and we will defend our citizens with every last breath from this latest brutal and calculated act of war. We are with you, one team, indivisible and strong. Thank you.
Our powers
Under
in
the
the red.
knife, sickly celebrity Johnny Handsleeves has reportedly opted for an experimental treatment as a last-ditch effort at curing his fatal illness. Abandoned by former partner Tiffany Lamore when public opinion turned against him, it seems poor Johnny Handsleeves has had to resort to a more extreme surgical procedure. Leaked medical records revealed this file photo of Johnny's surgery. Seen here mere weeks after losing his medical license, Dr. Hank is known for his open-air operating theatres, homemade tools, and his buy one, get one free appendectomies. In it to win it, exciting news from Advance.
That was very
today
seamless.
with the
They
announcement of a new monthly
really
prize
did a
draw
good job of this
for all
game.
team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take-up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's going to have...
Oh no!
The CEO of Remington Swiss insists she will be continuing the controversial Junior Employment Opportunity Scheme. Sophia Remington has courted controversy throughout her short career, but the continuation of the program, described by many as a child labour force, is a low point even for her. Seen here leaving a board meeting, the remorseless young businesswoman seemed utterly unperturbed by the outrage, saying, "I'm ahead of my time, like that steam engine guy, or God." Leaders shipping out. The trapped scientists undertaking a bold escape from Dante's taint have revealed which of their two
Dante's taint
will spearhead their journey to freedom. While throughout their careers it's been clear that Doctors Wong and Swarsborg and Horgensford have worked best together, it seems one of them is now going to be taking a back seat. Ingrid has always been the tempered coolant to David's flagellized metal, so it's no surprise that with the unexpected challenges the team have faced, they chose her methodical and effective approach to getting the team home safely. Critics, however, have speculated that her strategy may be delayed, as her name takes much longer to say. Life during wartime. As if we didn't have enough aggressors on our borders, internal problems are growing for the government as radical activist group Disrupt caused chaos in Parliament Park last night. Scuffles broke out after the protests, resulting in multiple arrests and the injury of 3 community cohesion officers. Advance have yet to comment. The reckless fire will certainly be remembered by all those who have seen these striking images. As their actions escalate, people across the country are asking themselves, who are Disrupt and what exactly do they want? Other than a new box of matches, of course. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News. Tonight, our team of correspondents has been
there's too many things.
Every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what this scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with Dr. Anna Burns of the University of Princeton. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? My eyelids are sweating.
And you're part of a team carrying out a study into just what's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their sunstroke and fossil fuels in peace.
You sound very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's
only
really
9 more minutes, yeah.
Here. I've actually left my car running.
So tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be getting a high-tech readout of the results.
Blimey, that sounds very fancy.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say, complimentary personal anecdote. Oh, here we go. And, as expected, everything is absolutely fucked. Hang on. This can't be right.
Right, but obviously you said a second ago that everything is fine, so...
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
Yeah? We need to evolve gills within 40 years.
You look thirsty.
Here it just says,
Shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Can't go around looking like that. There you go. Much better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing all of this.
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is running out.
It's running out. Absolutely right. That is all we have time for.
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
There you are. Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for
Don't forget about that pesky power button on the bed.
Blame us all.
No! What's wrong? I can't turn it.
Megan Wolfe attempting to do some actual news. Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school, and Amelia Jackhammer, an aspiring poet. Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient. But we're all dying to know, what have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julia Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
Ooh, swanky.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the gutter in.
That's absolutely terrific. You must both be over the moon.
I've written a poem about it.
So, can you tell me about the moment when you first heard the news?
I gotta remember to turn the VCR
I was
on.
battling against a particularly difficult floater, probably one of the sixth formers, when the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing turds?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh. How unexpected.
I don't polish turds. I write poetry.
Potato. So, Gary...
Do you think Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
It's a tough game. It's fun, but
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank you. Gary,
you get to decide the news and
membership, was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, but no, the boss said I had
they
to sign up to keep coming.
are releasing it in episodes. So this is episode 2, but they've already got
It's important
episode
to know
1
who
and
we're
2 little
trusting
mini
around our
episodes in between them as well launched.
I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No.
Or an anthology of haikus on the death of innocence.
I'd rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really? I thought you might say that.
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming. It's inspiration and it's delicious.
Right you are.
Today on the show there's no news. Just a man who keeps multiple poos.
Here, this big one's my favourite. See how it's fibrous? It's really lovely texture.
Would you encourage other people to enter for their chance to win?
If it's colour you're looking for, take a gander at old Blue Eyes here.
The national news lost its way when it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was unfair.
And that's all we have time for today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which was recently voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's something else. Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the stink?
Well, we're just all very proud of our achievement, to be honest with you. You can tell that, look at him, proud as punch. Do you know what it's like, son, being the second smelliest town? No, I don't. Living in the shadow of Arseminster. Those smug fucks. But who's laughing now, eh?
What, not me, that's for sure. So what happened, mate?
What, it's slower with the amount they're releasing? I mean, remember, they have to film everything in one take and sometimes multiple versions of it.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation.
It's a huge undertaking. I think it's pretty cool.
As soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted to put it here.
think not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a tax return or completing the physical act of love.
It's strong at first, but you get used to it after several weeks of your first bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed.
So, what's the sickness?
That's nothing to worry about. It takes a few
What did I get?
minutes
What did I get
before you
dinged
develop
for?
any symptoms. Now, folk are saying something about the production line.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Carcasses directly into the water
Yeah,
line, but
there's
I think it's probably
there's limitations, I suppose. They didn't account for everything. There would be a delay. Yeah.
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition.
Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, this stinking old tramp?
Next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
I think we've probably never sung in my life. Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. I'm gorgeous. Why didn't you tell me? I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want.
That will be the bout of undeserved self-confidence.
Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon. Oh, man. What's the point?
And the ennui. All that's left now are the hallucinations and unconsciousness.
No, Dottie. Was that you? Why are you made out of elbows? You know I don't eat opinions.
Oh, don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't.
Oh yeah, I've no doubt. Having more people and having proper equipment and things not overheating and it being a real broadcast would probably be a little bit easier.
Right. That's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink.
Fuck's sake.
You need to stand back.
I can't turn the fan on.
No, way back.
What am I getting dinged for?
Oh, you've started now.
What did I get dinged for? What the hell? What happened? Was I supposed to switch feeds? The other guy wasn't doing anything. He was just staring. I thought. Maybe I missed it. Too many other things going on. I guess we'll redo that then. What? Oh, on the TV, the indicator light here. I can barely tell what colors those are. We'll figure it out.
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
More like keep us in line. I hate guns. Give me the willies.
10 seconds, everybody.
So, we've got any actual real news tonight?
Well, the world.
I know the powers are red. I don't know if there's a penalty for that.
5, 4,
I guess we'll find out.
3.
I can turn the VCRs off if I need to.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week. In a statement from team headquarters a short time ago, Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this
I can't censor when the sound desk is off. I see.
The regrettable decision taken by the World Council this morning have left the citizens of this country isolated and fearful.
Oh, I'm sure.
But Advance have prepared for this day. Our stockpiles are large, our wealth is unfathomable, And we will defend our citizens with every last breath from this latest brutal and calculated act of war. We are with you. One team. Indivisible and strong. Thank you.
Under the knife, sickly celebrity Johnny Handsleeves has reportedly opted for an experimental treatment as a last-ditch effort at curing his fatal illness. Abandoned by former partner Tiffany Lamore when public opinion turned against him, it seems poor Johnny Handsleeves has had to resort to a more extreme surgical procedure. Leaked medical records revealed this file photo of Johnny's surgery. Seen here mere weeks after losing his medical license, Dr. Hank is known for his open-air operating theatres, homemade
Hank.
tools, and his buy one, get one free appendectomies.
Beware the sun is
In it
hot.
to win it.
I like
Exciting
that
news from
added
Advance
on the
today
bottom.
with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take-up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's
Was it a
going to
niche
have
game?
to have
Yeah,
one.
I mean, I can understand that, and it kind of
Soldiering
is, but
on, despite universal
I'm still
criticism
enjoying
and
it.
threats of legal
It's
action,
funky.
The CEO of Remington's List insists she'll be continuing the controversial Junior Employment Opportunities Scheme. Sophia Remington has courted controversy throughout her short career, but the continuation of the program, described by many as a child labour force, is a low point even for her. Unsurprisingly, Sophia emerged from an emergency resolution meeting looking extremely troubled, telling reporters, "It all came as a real shock. I thought people hated children as much as I did." Leaders shipping out. The trapped scientists undertaking a bold escape from Dante's taint have revealed which of their two erstwhile leaders
switching the
will
loudspeaker
spearhead
also
their journey
costs you,
to
meaning
freedom.
you miss those advanced
While
benefits.
throughout their careers, it's been clear that doctors Watson and Swan,
Yeah. If I turn off the speakers, I don't get to hear them.
it seems one of them is
If I
now
turn off
going
the
to be
sound desk,
taking
I
a
can't
backseat.
change, I can't censor.
Ingrid has always been
If I turn off the
tempered
vision
student
mixer, I can't
to
see,
David's
or I can't
flagellarized
control.
metal. So it's no surprise that with the unexpected challenges the team have faced, they chose her methodical and effective
Oh,
approach
I
to
can't hit
getting
the
team
button.
on
I already hit
side.
it once.
Critics, however, have speculated
I don't
that
know.
her
I don't think
shelter
that costs any
may be
power.
delayed, as her
The
name
fan is the
takes
fan,
much longer
obviously
to
the
say.
VHS right. VHS.
Life during wartime. As if we didn't have enough aggressors on our borders, internal problems are growing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that
As
is.
radical
I can
activists
highlight it, but I
disrupt
can't click on
caused
it.
Chaos in Parliament Park last night. Scuffles broke out after the protests, resulting in multiple arrests and the injury of 3 community cohesion officers. Advance have yet to comment. The reckless fire will certainly be remembered by all those who have seen these striking images. As their actions escalate, people across the country are asking themselves,
I gotta make sure I
who
turn on
are
the
disrupt,
VHS before a
and
commercial.
What exactly do they want? Other than a new box of matches, of course. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions.
What was that?
As well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship.
What did they get a
and
minus for?
Her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Because screw you, yeah. Basically.
But first tonight, our team of correspondents has been dispatched to every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with Dr. Anna Burns of the University of Princeford. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? My eyelids are sweating.
My eyelids are sweating.
You're part of a team carrying out a study into just what's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their sunstroke and fossil fuels.
Why do I need to fucking point the antenna and
Very
shit?
confident about that. Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's really no cause for any concern here. I've actually left my car running.
So tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be getting a high-tech readout of the results.
Blimey, that sounds very fancy.
Yeah, you think we're phone.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say,
She looks like, what's her name?
Oh, here we go.
Who plays the ukulele? Makuchi.
As expected, everything is absolutely fucked. Hang on. This can't be right.
Right, but obviously you said a second ago that everything is fine, so...
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
Yeah? We need to evolve gills within 40 years.
Yes, my couchy.
Here it just says, shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Can't go around looking like that. There you go. Much better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing all of this.
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is running out.
It's running out. Absolutely right. That is all we have time for.
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the climate.
The sea will reclaim us all.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof, if proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolfe, here with science. Back to you.
Megan Wolfe there, attempting to do some actual news. Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school.
It's loud enough for you guys to hear, right?
An aspiring poet. Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Good.
Wow, that sounds so convenient.
Yeah, the broadcast is what I want you guys to be able to
dying
hear.
to know. What have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julia Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
Ooh, swanky.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the gutter in.
That's absolutely terrific. You must both be over the moon.
Yeah, the red and green are like, if I look at them, I can tell they're different, but they're not that different to me.
Well, I was battling against a particularly difficult floater, probably one of the sixth formers, when the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing turds?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh. How unexpected.
I don't polish turds. I write poetry.
Potato, potato. So, Gary...
Do you think Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents
On
of
these?
the downpipe?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell for
no
me.
harm in asking, I suppose.
Would you like to
It's on
hear
black.
one?
No, thank you. Gary, when you signed up for team membership, was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
So to
I like
recap,
flutter, of course, but no,
this
I'm not allowed
is
to sign up to keep coming
what
into
we're
school.
about to broadcast. This is live.
It's important to
You
know
can
who
hear
we're trusting around our children.
important to know. I have
that secondary audio
book of sonnets about children.
for the broadcast. Censor is censoring live audio, so it's on a delay.
Haikus on the death
1, 2, 3, and 4 chooses the 1, 2, 3, 4
about
feed.
Gary's turd collection.
Really?
The fan keeps everything cool.
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming. It's inspiration and it's delicious.
Right you are.
I've been enjoying the
Today
game.
on the show, there's
Like I
no
said,
news.
they're going to
Just a
increase the
man
price of it soon, so if you're interested in picking it up, it may not be a bad idea to pick it up sooner than later. It's one of those games where they're releasing it in episodes, so you have to be willing to put the money down for future stuff, I guess.
Take a gander at all
But
blue eyes here.
yes,
The
PC
national
only.
news lost its way when it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite
When did the
rare.
animatronic bears attack? That was a couple months ago.
That's all we have time for today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which has recently voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's something else. Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the stink?
Well, we're just all very proud of our achievement, to be honest with you. You can tell that, look at him, proud as punch. Do you know what it's like, son? Being the second smelliest town? No, I don't. Living in the shadow of Arseminster.
Thankfully, it doesn't.
But who's laughing now,
Oh
eh?
boy, it doesn't take too much
happened,
processing
mate?
power. I don't think.
Right, the good people from Remington's Fist
But
came
you
in
do
and
need to have a
saved the
computer to
day
do
with
it.
their factory.
You're talking, of course, about the newly built flour factory.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs and growth. But as soon as we heard about the stench,
You'll definitely
we
need a
paid them
mouse,
whatever
though.
they wanted to put it here.
I couldn't imagine playing this to
Stink not
trackpad.
affect your life in every way, Barry. I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a
Although there
tax
is a
return
key,
or
hang on.
completing the physical act of love.
Oh, no.
Strong at first, but
There are
you
keys
get
that do
used
this,
to
I just
it
don't remember what
after
they
several
are.
weeks of your first bout of sickness. The judges
So you
were
might be able to get
very
away with
impressed.
just the keyboard if you
So, what
learn the controls.
Oh, that's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop any symptoms. Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the water main, but I think it's probably the few valves on the high street.
On the high street? Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms?
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition.
Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, you stinking old tramp?
Next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
I thought we had problem with sung of my life. Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. I'm gorgeous. Why didn't you tell me? I should take my shirt off. You know
1, 2, 3,
what?
4
I'll
feet's
even
correct.
let you touch me if you want.
That will be the bout of undeserved
Come on, Crystal, how you doing?
self-confidence.
Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon. Oh man, what's the
And the ennui. All that's left now
Ennui.
are the hallucinations and unconsciousness.
Nanadotti? Is that you? Why are you made out of elbows? You know I don't eat opinions.
Oh, don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels. Right.
I don't think I'm supposed to swap.
A town that's really making a stink. I'm Barry Lardons. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Barry. With a naval blockade
Okay,
being set
I
up
was.
around our coastline as we speak,
A little early.
when we come back, I'll be talking to 3 members of the general public who appear to be here purely for medical reasons. Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Well, that
Ooh.
was stupid, even for you.
I don't
Oh my
care.
God, should we play the resistance tape?
I am done. It's 200 fucking degrees in here, and I can't do this anymore.
You say this every Friday.
I've done something.
What do you mean? Jeremy?
My mic is still on.
Ooh. I got a B that time. That's a lot better than an E.
This next section features a potentially controversial guest. Advance may request some censorship if he goes too off topic. You've done a great job so far keeping everyone happy, so let's keep up the good work.
That's what I'm talking about? Cat football? We should be doing an interview with the War Minister, or a report from Grantham Downs. Even the weather will be more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe. It's just something light to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly, which is wrong. People's minds should be very much on things. Christ, it's so fucking hot.
Legally
Please
edible
take your seats
food
as
in
quickly as
there.
you can.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough. That's it. This is just
10 seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5 fucking 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the territory's first cat football team, Professor Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. See, I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election, and it hasn't stopped since.
Fascinating stuff. Also here is Frankie Steampipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological foreboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected. We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting. I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally, I'm joined by a man who
Funny
answers
fart joke.
every question
Got him.
honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that right?
Not according to my therapist.
Well, in that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard. At work, they ask me to stop answering the phones. It's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
People tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much support I've received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
Shit all. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Well, Miss Piercy, some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
That you're a team fuck puppet?
No.
Or a sellout cunt?
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this isn't live television, then what is it?
Fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles 13 Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No! Wow, we may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on! This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin. And Ginger Tabby with a world-class pair of penalty paws. Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once.
Enough! That's enough! Enough!
What are you doing?
Trying not to piss myself.
Alex, cut.
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre.
It's me.
Bonesman's little scapegoat. You listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person in this studio. I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so fucking hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brink of a siege the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these 3 fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You 3, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go, before I change my mind. Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
I can't go to a commercial if I wanted to, by the way.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Good. Right. You in the broadcast centre. Alex, you listen to me. You pay attention. Now, I'm sure
Look at this
you've
pinned to
already
Max.
worked out exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes, really. Look to
I already
your
put
right.
it in
There's
slot
a
2.
VHS tape, and I want you to load it into one of your machines. And when I say so, and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now, all cameras.
I assume you won't be playing that tape. This station does not negotiate with terrorists. I hope I've made myself clear. You seem to know what to do.
Every single thing that comes out of this studio is either one-sided or banal. We're going to show the other side for a bit of fucking
I'm gonna play it.
like the good old days. Alex, play the fucking tape. I don't want to hurt any of you. If I see anything I don't like, I will not hesitate to start.
You're going to get me in trouble with that. Let's hope you made the right call.
Reset the system for the third segment. I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof.
You've heard them talk about us on the news. We are Disrupt. We are the Resistance. It's time you knew the truth. You know Advance are lying to you. You know
A+.
the enemy are not a burden.
I don't know. I think that might have been
We're not all evil.
shoehorned in, but I'll take it.
Team membership card is an ID card, no matter what they try to tell you. But why should you trust us? Another faceless organization. A shadowy
I don't know. I'm more interested in the story than A+ing everything. A+ stream. Thank you.
Well, this is not a movie.
My name is Alan James. I used to try and shock people for a living, for entertainment. But now we live in a time where perhaps you need to be shocked. Perhaps we need to wake up. Advance are coming for our freedoms. They're coming for the fruits of our labors.
Oh, it's getting pretty
They
crazy.
take our wealth. They will euthanize our parents.
It's like Papers, Please,
smiling
kind of.
throughout.
It's about government and
They will
resistance
turn
and
our
all that.
children
So
against
I
us
agree with that.
if we voice our concerns.
Thank you, Casey.
You don't have to accept it.
Jeremy, please.
A great many people already won't.
17
You can
seconds.
resist.
And the
You
studio
can
doors are all
disrupt.
still locked?
Find us.
Yes.
Talk with us. Join us.
So what now?
It isn't hard.
I don't know.
We're everywhere.
This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had a speech, look. But this was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off.
God, please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
You're already live.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Joining me, unexpectedly, for what I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is, what's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. it's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
I couldn't say.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later.
I like how I'm still censoring it.
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
That's perfectly understandable. We'd want to do this. Jenny.
There's been no
why
interference.
Did you join the National Nightly
No
News
heat.
team?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this program? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Was.
Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
There is a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Like I said, you didn't know.
No. I didn't know. The people I met were with... He wasn't there.
God,
I didn't know it was Alan James.
I'm sorry. But seriously, Alan fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
Don't waggle the gun around.
That right?
Look, forget Alan James. There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit. And Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself fucking useful. How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these? Not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you. You read these cards with my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop. They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. We're nearly done. All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over?
Oh, shit.
Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of, whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway, that's why I arranged for you to see that broadcast from the last break. I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up. We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's all so fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight.
I don't know where the goalie cat is. I don't have a feed with goalie cat. I'm sorry.
Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried it. I loved the news. And now, well...
God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore. And I'm sorry. I've lost this fight.
Alex, think of the consequences.
I've let you down.
Please, we can't show this. Cut to the ads.
My name's Jenny
Now!
Dawes.
Do it now!
I have to turn on the VHS rack. I'm sure that Remington wants their ads shown right now. Another A+. Yeah, I didn't make any censorship errors as far as the bad words go, not necessarily the revoked words, whatever you want to call it. That was the only real penalties in that one. I mean, I guess there were some cuts that would have been bad to show, but did I just cliffhang you guys? No, there should be one more. There should be one more broadcast today. No, there were supposed to be 3. Oh, I did cut the commercials. I mean, not something you want to broadcast on TV, A, and B, not something I want to put on Twitch. Although I don't think the game would do that, but who knows? I want to turn the volume up, but the volume sledge is behind the continue button. Oh, there we go.
Can have my mighty works.
Grade A. Yeah, I don't know exactly what happens. You've received a small bonus. Oh wow! Current wealth broke ass poor, not quite breaking even. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think. That's my broadcast. Did I censor the blue? Some of it. I stopped at one point. So no, not all of it.
How long?
I think I can fast forward.
So what now?
Fair warning, I don't know what it's gonna show. I doubt they're gonna show him actually doing it, but if that's something that's sensitive to you, obviously, fair warning.
My name's James.
Do it now!
It's really loud.
If you can.
Oh, did I cut away? Is that why? No, it should show me the whole thing. No, it must stop. I don't know. That's what it is, I guess. Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, maybe they shoot him in like the knee or something where you can't see it and he collapses out of frame or something. I don't know. Well, we'll find out in a second. We have another episode coming up. Or another broadcast. We get a little bit more. A tape to remember. You wake up, still partly in shock from what you saw on the news last night. What you had to edit on the news last night. When you come downstairs, you find your family sat in the living room, waiting for you. You take a seat on the sofa next to Sam. Swam swallows. Sam swallows, hesitating before starting. We were so worried about you last night. After Jeremy, everything that happened, Sam shakes her head. I wonder what they'll do with him now. Are you okay? I can't shake the feeling you might be right. Sam glances at Charlie, then back at you. We saw that you chose to play that tape. They pause before continuing. And I couldn't help but wonder why. What's going on, Scum? I didn't feel like I had a choice. What? That's not good enough. Just disrupt are bad people. I can't believe you did that. Charlie's outburst seems to come out of nowhere, and no one in the room was prepared for it. Right, Charlie joined, like, the junior advanced officers or something. Do you even think about how this stuff affects people? You're a fucking idiot. Sam tries to interject. Charlie, but he's already slammed the door. Charlie always was a bit black and white about this sort of thing. Ah, I see scum. Very interesting. The game is getting pretty crazy. That you think it's likely that you would have been killed? Well, I think, considering there's supposed to be more for this game, I don't think they would have killed you. You left after the Borat guy was talking about small weirs. Oh yeah, there's a lot that happened. The main points are we got into a couple of broadcasts, and at one point the main broadcaster took the gun off of a advanced agent's body and held him and a coworker hostage, and then threatened to kill himself, and then we cut away to commercials. That's kind of the big recap. We also played a tape for the Disruptors, which is the opposite of Advance. Advance is like the oppressive government, and the Disruptors is like the anarchist students people. For what it's worth, Alex, I think you were in an impossible situation and somehow managed to make the right call. Sam throws her arms around you. You should watch the VOD. Only you were stuck in that studio having to make that choice. No one can criticize what you did. I'm proud of you. You've never been so grateful to have Sam support you. You take a deep breath and gather your thoughts. It's a lot to take in. You're not sure you fully processed what's happened last night, let alone what Charlie and Sam think about it. You sigh and absent-mindedly turned on the TV. It's nice. You've at least got some company. The TV is playing through some old Western show, but it's not quite as distracting as you'd hoped. You were never going to please anyone. Yeah, Charlie's a butt. Well, I remember when we made the decision, we can make the decision to tell him not to join, or we weren't going to allow him to join, or let him join. I was like, oh, well, I don't want to take his... I want to let him make his choice, but now at this point, I wish I hadn't. Day 361, a burden born. It's been 6 months since you and Sam discussed Grandma's ever-increasing medical costs, and Emma, whilst very pleasant, has proved as expensive a nurse as you'd feared. You can't quite believe it's been that long, but the sanctions are really starting to hit home now, and unfortunately, the government's only solution to help the ailing elderly is a day trip to a transition center. Why does everything always seem to come back to money? I let someone join the HJ. I'm not sure exactly what the HJ is. If that's the like junior CCO officer kind of thing for the advanced, then yes, I guess I let Charlie join them. Oh, I mean, it's not what that's called in this game, but yeah, I guess kind of. This time, it's you at the kitchen table, surrounded by bills and paperwork, when Sam comes to you. Today, Emma told you that there was really nothing more you could do, except an expensive experimental new treatment that might not even help. Sometimes your mum wants the treatment. More often, she talks about visiting a transition center. It's hard to know what she really wants. Sam puts her hand on yours. What are we going to do, honey? She's your mother. It has to be your choice. There's something we can do. We just can't afford the treatment. That's it. These things are never really a choice. Hopefully the kids will understand. It was all you could do, given the circumstances. If only things had been different. Sorry, I dropped an Allen key. I'm guessing if you have more money at this point, you can get the treatment, but... A holiday update. Just as you're finishing up breakfast, Sam comes in with the post. Oh, I've got a postcard from Susie. I hope she's having fun on her trip. Sam reads it aloud as you finish getting ready for work. Yeah, nice big Allen key right here, yeah. No, it's getting deep, man. Which one of those is Susie? And why is it turning into tropical disco? So I've seen what it feels like most of Kyrgyzstan. Really cool place, but so cold. Hope Chippy enjoyed the gift. And before you say anything, yes, you were right to make me pack an extra pair of socks. Sam gives you a small kick under the table. Next, we got the train to Konoslava, much warmer and loads of beaches to enjoy. I could have stayed there forever, but had to head to San Palmarino, God, before it got too cold. And I'm so glad we did. We've probably got only 1 or 2 more stops before heading home, but I'll be back in time for Christmas, as promised. Oh, I promise. I hope everyone's doing well. Love, Susie XXX. Sounds like it's been a hell of a trip. Worth every penny. That's also partly why we're in debt, is because we gave all our money to Susie to go on vacation. $365. It's been a year. $371. All right, this is our last broadcast for the day. I'm really enjoying playing it as it goes. And I do, when I see new updates, I do get excited to play them. But I feel like the full effects of the choices, the narrative choices, and the story would be better played linearly rather than serially. Does that make sense? So maybe when it's done, maybe I'll do a replay. Also, look at the board here. That's completely different from how it is in the games. This must be old artwork. We don't have a temperature gauge like that. We have different horizontal measurements for each fuse. I also kind of wish I had rewatched my first couple episodes. A, and B, it seems like they changed some of the... What is this?
Screen and stay out of the orange. Let's keep the news on the air. It's important now more than ever.
A new audio mixer? I guess I better... SS Fun Ship, a cruise of a lifetime. Bring your friends, make some new ones. Oh, right.
You didn't hear this from me, but... Apparently, there's a crew at Team HQ right now. I think she's giving a speech or something tonight.
Should I play it? I really don't want to play it.
Great, so they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
How are you?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I miss him too, you know.
Outside the window, it has in other episodes,
10
yeah.
seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
It's time to join Megan and the team.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of Heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Sadly, however, more casualties were reported today, and as the weeks and months of this war make ever more demands on our armed services, those numbers will, tragically, only continue to rise. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. However, with a reported rise in mental and physical health issues since the imposition of the blockade, critics have questioned whether those smaller communities which are only now starting to receive help could have been better and quicker served. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health
Isn't that the new James Bond movie?
Transition centres has today been declared
Oh, no, it's the zombie
overwhelming
game.
success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. With dwindling medical supplies leaving many of our most vulnerable facing chronic pain, it can come as no surprise that the transition centres have found themselves stretched to capacity.
It's an homage.
Populous, More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card. A worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight.
Oh boy.
While applications are still open for those who like to run fashionably late, they can expect a few tricky questions from Advance.
No, the new one is No Time to Die.
Disrupt
The new Bond
spokesman
game,
Alan James
movie.
held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankypool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. A representative from the Mankypool Community Cohesion Team described the event
I thought he
as
was on one of those
mostly peaceful.
swagtrons.
But it looks like Disrupt aren't going quietly into the night. And finally,
I really like this music too, by the way. It's like nothing.
Our mutual
but
friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former national nightly news anchor Jeremy Donaldson.
Okay.
The presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Pension Ridge Prison, while the lengthy preparations for his trial,
Human
which
music.
is still 18 months away, begin. Following his very public breakdown on this programme 10 weeks ago, the once-loved presenter was disarmed and taken into custody by the Community Cohesion Team.
There you go.
Let's hope doctors can help the once great man.
I like him as an
But first this
actor and what he
evening,
brings
with
to
the war
this
about to enter
game,
its
so
21st
I kind of hope he
punishing
comes back.
week, and people hurting up and down the country, I'll be grilling unpredictable Prime Minister Peter Clement in an exclusive interview from his home in Lancashire. That's coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. I'm a little overexcited to announce I'll be interviewing the one and only Lil C. And later we've got a new feature that's sure to keep you coming back for more. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's speaking to us from his home in Lancashire. Good evening, Prime Minister. Have we caught you exercising?
Oh, have we started? Yes, that's right, Miss Wolf. I've
Get the
just a few
microphone.
minor adjustments. I mean, nothing drastic. I haven't joined the gym or anything. As my old mum used to say, just because she won't take it up the shit, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try for a quick fiddle up the car park.
Language, Prime Minister. Language, Prime Minister.
What? Quick fiddle? What's wrong? Oh, shitter. It's shitter, isn't it? Yep, that's the one.
And can you tell us what brought about this new you?
Well, you know, Mrs. C and I were watching, you know, the night the blockade began, when Jeremy Donaldson, well, you know, and it were blistering hot, as I'm sure you all remember, and I were a bit wheezy from all the cigars and all that, and Mrs. C turns to me after, you know, after the signal dropped away.
Some of that disrupt propaganda out. Try not to do that, Alex. We're watching you.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't go on without you. She's dead.
I get fired.
I made a decision. And since that day, I have stopped smoking cigars. Except for Christmas. My birthday. Weddings. State dinners. I swear I said, I got this useless running back which doesn't go anywhere. And apparently I'm going on a walking holiday this Christmas, and that should finish me off for bloody good.
Did you make the decision to holiday within the country this winter because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, Mrs. C has never liked travelling at the best of times. These are certainly not the best of times. On that we can all agree. There's a lot of red tape involved in leaving the territory at the moment, as I'm sure you're all aware. Some of those followers are bastard long. What?
Do I need to censor it if it's not on TV?
Oh, yeah. Also, it doesn't seem very advanced to be going abroad when the rest of the country is grounded.
And yet, Julia Salisbury announced today that she'll be visiting Svenland during this year's winter break. Is that really an example of team spirit?
What? Did you know about this, Gail?
No one tells me anything, Peter. You should know that.
What did you know?
Well, leaving that for a moment, it says on this card that a body like yours must take some planning to achieve. What's your morning routine?
Well, I have a frigid morning routine.
Rigid? It's rigid for fuck's sake!
Oh, yeah. A rigid and demanding plan that my doctor and personal trainer...
Who's your personal trainer?
Ah, some prick called Clark. Is that on your card?
I think you might wonder. Prime Minister, speaking of planning, with the blockade in its 20th week and the people of this country reeling from its effects, what plans do you have to get us out of this mess?
Well, that's a very blunt
I guess I've chosen a side by choosing to do the orange instead of the white.
Democratically elected Prime Minister must have an answer.
Don't you get smart with me, Pat. I was a fucking national treasure before you were a twinkle in the milkman's scrotum. You want to talk about plans? Let me tell you about plans. That's all we do. Fucking plans and revised plans and then meetings to discuss the implementation of plans and plans and yet more planning for fucking plans and yet more fucking plans.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, Prime
Do you
Minister.
know, I used to really like you, Pat.
Twinkle in the milkman's scrotum.
But I've been watching you, and you know what? You get more like him every day.
I will take that as a compliment. Prime Minister, later on this evening, your co-leader, Julia Salisbury, is going to give a national address from team headquarters. Can you give us a hint of what she's going to say?
Yes. Well, I imagine that there
Sorry,
will be
you
the
imagine?
usual... no, what I mean is...
You do know about this broadcast, don't you, Prime Minister?
I'm sure I did. But Julia and I have no secrets from each other. We don't memorize each other's bloody diaries either. As my old man used to say, if you want to get
because
a job done,
PewDiePie's trying to
quick,
run
don't
for
get
government
down in the pew.
and
What else
overthrow
you
the
got?
government.
Only cards, what else? A little piece of my life do you want to rustle through? Get out, refill my last. Come on. Come on.
Okay. What music do you listen to when you work out?
Well, Gail tells me that I work out to Little C, but I have absolutely no
YouTube took down his
fucking
diss
idea
track,
what that
yeah.
is. And do you think the C stands for...
It stands for collaborative, Prime Minister.
Yeah, actually, that does make more sense, actually.
How's rationing affecting you?
Jeremy Clarkson let himself go.
You
Oof.
just have to learn to get by on the basics. Take comfort in each other. I've got Mrs. C and many a fine single malt. I want for nothing. Except for a decent night's sleep, of course.
Prime Minister, thank you for joining us. When we come back, it's time for the Culture Spot with Lil C and a world premiere performance of her new song. I genuinely can't wait to hear that. We'll be back after this.
1 minute back, everybody.
I forgot if the VCR was on.
I don't think anyone's supposed to know. When you mentioned it, Bozeman's face turned a colour that I think you call embolism. Am I in trouble? Bozeman? Nah, you're like the daughter he never had. I suppose the higher-ups might fire him there.
Who's Lil C?
Or if there's an injustice, me.
Who's Lil C?
Are you winding me up?
What? I'm civilized. I read books.
It's just too much going on.
Just like the brochures say, you can cheat on your wife.
No doubt have spotted the updated mixing disc. You'll need the new buttons during the next
Oh
section.
no.
First, we'll need applause when the guest enters and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
If you could be me now out on a foreign shore, down in every crack and with my butt burned roar, I've left the kids back home so I can really unwind on the cheapest cruise line I ever designed. All I can say is bam, just look where you are. A cabin will not slam. Here comes the meteor. That ship, oh yes ma'am, we'd never deceive ya, and the court says there's no scale.
My kids go mad for her, absolutely mad.
Live in 10 seconds.
Hang on, Colin, you've got kids.
Yeah, I've got about 6 or 7, I think.
6 or 7 kids.
5,
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence
recording this must have been a
as the
blast.
Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of
They have a
just
documentary
20.
on Steam
Let's
about
give it
how
up
they
and
recorded some of the
welcome
stuff during
Lil
lockdown.
C.
So if you're interested, you can definitely check that out.
May I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
What's the regime?
My manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
This released a couple weeks ago.
I've never
Episode 2
actually heard
did.
of you before, so if you do
Episode
get a
1
little
came out
tongue-tied,
last
I can
year.
always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded.
No, this was made last year or two.
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that like annoying little girl from that show to that like sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really, it was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jeanshort. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
Uh-huh. So, this
the story's been
newfound
bonkers
explosion
so
into your
far.
popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing like nice underwear, you know, for the paparazzi. But as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Oh my
Is that right? So what's the album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and great I am.
Some of it during quarantine. They have some quarantine-specific episodes that are socially distanced.
Your manager again.
And there's a in-world reason for that.
Opportunity.
There's a breakout of toys that are trying to kill people.
With you telling us all this.
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out tomorrow.
Put it in my what together?
Soon, after the last one.
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help and it's going to be in all the high street and retailer shops and it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh. There she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they?
I stayed with the real one, not the orange one.
It can get tough and I hate it sometimes and I hate myself. I just want to like cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to be me.
What am I getting dinged for? Oh.
You know you don't have to do this, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. Most nights between like my 4th bottle and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse. I think things could have been different, you know, like better. But I don't know. I love doing autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl.
There's a performance that's going to go on camera 3 in a little
My
bit.
favourite girl group would come when I
That's why.
called on my cassette, but then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practicing again.
Sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Cragler proud and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it,
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. But you know what, it's actually all right. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then, well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit.
Oh.
It was a
Stop walking in front of my shot.
It's a pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here is Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
It's
the Force's favorite, the Queen of Teams, here to break in your blockades. We'll see.
Oh God.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing. Only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team and me, no dirty foreign member. Don't stop no morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no Vickers, but I come in Spanish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try.
Taking her clothes off.
See some action, so come and break my sanctions. I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy.
I can't I'm like missing. How am I missing?
He's gonna bring you home. I ain't no Vickers, but I come in Spanish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there.
Oh my God, she's just losing her clothing.
So come and break my sanctions.
So are they.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from
God.
the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go
For
anywhere.
doing that.
After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
What are people upset with? So there's like a meter here. And he's supposed to like cut to the meter. And I not great at that.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes.
Why? Her clothing's half. Oh, all right. This is a design thing. I thought she took her jacket
I
half
manage
off.
myself. It's just, for the public to have that certain perspective. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael.
They expect to edit the music to the rhythm of the game, yeah, and I'm just terrible at it.
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart. We both had the same agents, like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together. Wow. And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. If they say for your pleasure, I'm going to stop needing it.
Back into being grandpa's bloomers, consumers. Don't worry, you.
It's high fashion. I wouldn't understand. Yeah.
Well, the fact is, Jen, there weren't enough flowers in my dressing room.
There were exactly 12, as it said in your rider.
Do I look like the sort of person who counts things? No, 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 not anymore. I'm better than that now. I'll tell you what.
What's camera
just
4
keep
doing?
adding flowers until it
feels like 12. Got it?
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds.
Fun as I have, but you can't afford to. So here's the swag box instead.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about
No, this came out
how
like
to
last week,
feature
Scump. There's no way that
Now,
they
the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on
meditated
the
that.
show will be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new
Yeah,
segment
it had to be a
called
premonition.
The Notice
This
Board.
literally came out like
It
last
stars some
weekend.
top talent, and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director, and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys.
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff DeProon now. How'd you like that?
Oh, yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It's shit.
And how does Angela feel about all this?
Who?
Your wife.
Ah! Oh, God, no. No. No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom. And I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this.
It didn't like I stayed on one shot for too long, but it was a good
Got
shot.
out my typewriter and started clacking. Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
Excellent, you're a natural. Keep it up.
Good morning, Miss Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray, it's those young louts. They've vandalised my shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock. See? Works like a charm.
What a lovely way to put it, Ray. And just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Wow! Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh, I think that one's addressed to me.
What? This one? Oh, so you're right.
This is so dumb.
Here it is.
It's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
What's up, losers?
Oh, no. It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around.
I don't know which ones they want me to do.
Rad dudes.
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What? Did you say tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind, Ray?
Not at all.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
No doy.
So it wasn't you who vandalised my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought.
I don't know if that's like awe or like oh.
Said, Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear
Oops.
that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray.
Oh, it froze.
Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
What? What happened? What happened?
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we are receiving some breaking news. I'm being told we are picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be what appear to be nuclear explosions in
What?
4 major foreign
Oh, they're at
cities.
war.
Initial estimates put the death toll into. They put them into millions.
Oh my God.
I'm being told we're experiencing some power shortages as a result, so apologies for the interruption. And apparently we can go live now to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury any moment. Yes, let's go to that now. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world.
A nuclear.
Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities
Advance
across the
launched them? The government?
We have similar devices
What?
in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them if our conditions are not met in full and without delay. The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control.
See, the problem with this
We will
is
install replacement governments to
unless I
ensure that your
change the
citizens
audio
become
mixing,
part
I'm never
of
going to
the
hear what
new
they're
future.
saying on the other end.
Your borders are now our borders. Your people are our people. They will finally be fed and clothed and educated and healed. But for your privileged few, the moment that they feared is now upon them.
Who casually launches the nuke? Apparently the government. The new
Allow
government.
me to be crystal clear. If you fire a single shot at our territory or harm a single one of our citizens, we will not hesitate to
You
detonate.
need to swipe your membership card to launch the nuke, yeah.
You will not find them. then no doubt you are already searching for them. Our technology is decades ahead of yours. We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you.
I don't really talk about my personal life in my job. It's not relevant or important.
Don't see any
So many
notes.
of you may be surprised to learn that I have a brother. His name is David. And right now I can't get his stupid face out of my head. He's a researcher and he's currently traveling the continent for work. And I don't know where he is right now. And I should imagine that there are many of you sitting at home tonight digesting this news, and you also have loved ones on the continent. In Urkistan,
That's a big twist.
or
Oh, yeah.
Harbia, or San Palmerino, or
Oh, our daughter.
Konislava, which is where David was when I last spoke to him 3 days ago.
Our daughter is in one of those.
So when I
Wow.
tell you I know how you are feeling tonight, believe me, I do.
I guess Advance
But
did.
I also know that there's
That's what it
a
sounds
build to
like.
Events. I see it every day here. I know that although tonight it feels like we may be in a time of fear and darkness,
Then why did it shake here?
we may actually be at the break of a new dawn.
Unless I'm misunderstanding. I thought Advance was the one who sent them, though.
Together we will find out, and I will be here every night, feeling what you are feeling, and with your help, maybe we can all get to that brave new world.
Sounded like it was their own.
My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out.
Achievement unlocked, strength to strength, and family away from home.
We'll find him.
Do we know exactly which cities were hit, or?
Megan. We will find him.
Achievement unlocked. Let's make tomorrow better. Boy, holy cow. This... We don't know if she died, but she was definitely in one of those cities. So it's possible. Damn. The first episode was like, oh, all right, not bad. The second one was like, oh, holy shit, the ending was twisted. And then this one is just like, what the hell happened? Holy cow. Episode 2 came out January 28th. Let's see. The telethon was September 24th. And then the lockdown update was June 25th. So they're taking a good 6 months-ish to do stuff. But I mean, remember, you got to think they had to film every single one of those linearly. But then the diverging paths for your choices, they also had to film. And make sure they slot in appropriately, seamlessly. Some of those were crazy seamless into what you're doing.
This is Alan James. The revolution starts tonight, Alex. And we need your help.
Under quarantine, yeah.
So proud to be here today on this, the 500-day anniversary of the...
It's time to choose. Alex, whose side are you on?
You're pretty late, yeah.
After all, doesn't your family deserve a good meal?
Oh yeah, they're definitely not filming it in order. But you gotta think, from start to ad break, that's what, a 5, 9, 10 minute, depending on which one it is, that if they mess up, they kind of can't recut. You know what I mean? A lot of them are single takes. In fact, they have some video of outtakes and stuff on some of their stuff if you dig around on Steam, but crazy the amount of production value.
I'm Alex. I'm Andy. And
These
I'm
are the
Dave.
devs.
Jay, we said Zoom backgrounds.
Oh, sorry, boys.
We're the developers of Not for Broadcast, and we want to thank you so much for supporting our little game so far.
We're now 2/3 of the way through the story.
But as we film this in January 2021, the UK is back in lockdown.
We don't know when we'll next be able to film with a full cast and crew.
So once again, we have to ask you to please be patient with us.
And if you want to talk to us in the meantime,
come chat with us on Discord at discord.gg/notforbroadcast.
We stream on Twitch every first and third Thursday of the month at twitch.tv
First and third.
/NotGamesUK.
Not
We always
Games
check the
Suck.
Steam forums for any suggestions or problems you may have.
And we read every Steam review, even the horrible ones, because your opinion matters to us.
So all that remains to say is thank you so much for playing our weird little game.
Games Suck.
See you in episode 3. Probably, if I have come up with a cure by then, I will let you know. Last time it didn't go so well for me.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes.
E? I got an E? Oh, the dance sequence fucked me over so hard. That's gotta be the dance sequence, no? Oh, no! Oh, no. Some rude words were broadcast. More interference than news. An exceedingly poor edit. Disrupt ruined the broadcast. The dancing ruined my career twice, yeah. It always does. You've received your full wages. Ooh. Current wealth. Technically not negative. I'll take it. Oh, this game is crazy. So you're running a TV broadcast station. Let me lower the volume of the game, man. You're running a TV broadcast station, but you get presented with these choices of making, of making certain people look bad or cutting out certain things and all this stuff, and you're kind of deciding how this new authoritative government is being presented and whether you support them or not, and it includes things like a fever dream where toys, stuffed animals come and are attacking citizens, so they go into lockdown, and nukes going off, and newscasters taking people hostage live on air, and holy cow.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
Wow.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines
I'm gonna take a minute. I'm gonna hit the bathroom. I'm gonna I wish I could get that great music. These are my actual broadcasts. Like it records what you're doing.
Join Megan Wolf and the team for tonight's National Nightly News. There's
By the
just
way,
time to take a peek at what's coming up later
it
tonight.
it does have different flows based on what you're censoring and showing. Yeah, I don't know if the endings change, but like it ranks the advanced versus the disruptors. And you can you can either side with the government or not side with the government, and that changes things. I don't know exactly because I've only played through it 2/3 of the way once so far, so I don't know what's different. I'm guessing Gordon Ranty, yeah. I'm guessing there's going to be different things that happen, but
At 8:30 p.m., it's over to Patrick Bannon.
like I said, I'm gonna hit the bathroom real quick. I'll leave you guys to watch the broadcast. This is the same one I just did, just minus me. So I'll be back in 2 minutes, and then
At 9, it's our
maybe we'll
nightly
finish up
report from the
Pikmin.
late news team.
So
Followed
I'll be
at
back.
9:25 by our unsettling play,
Hey, thanks for making it all the way to the end of this video. I know that some of the VODs can get a little bit long, so I do appreciate you sticking around. I'd like to ask real quick if you have a friend or someone close to you who you think would like a clip or a portion or even the whole stream, please feel free to reach out to them and share this with them. I'm always looking for more respectful people to come hang out and have some fun. If you've already done that or want to help me out some other way, feel free to check out the video description for some other ways you can help support me. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.